Hello, BodySlams podcast viewers out there. I'm your host, Chio Frost, and this is the first edition, but it's not the first episode of Breakfast and Body Slams with our new time slot being Sundays at 11 a.m. As you see, sitting next to me, we have a very special guest. He is currently our new junior analyst. He's freshly new to the world of professional wrestling. He's just starting to learn what the independence is. But we're going to get into that because last night, me, him, and Dennis Reaper did attend Atlantic All-Star Wrestling. But we will get into that news shortly. But without any further ado, as we're starting at the top of the hour at 11 o'clock, crossing over onto our other Devereaux Sports family members, the currently on Devereaux Sports on Facebook, you could be listening to the Combat Misfits. And earlier today was the Gobbler Inc. But we specifically said we're going to start at 11 a.m. and 11 a.m. That's it. But all our shows are killing it. But let me bring in, speaking of the Gobbler, let me bring in his better brother, not the cheesesteak one. He's the better Bernard. He's the Saint Bernard. He's Mikey.
Yeah, that's right, the better Bernard. And by the way, Mr. John Lee, don't forget that Chio was a worker at one time, and he will throw the gloves down and put you through a table. So
I don't know. He might see the table and want to pass out and fall asleep on it. I was actually surprised he was awake today on the Gobbler Inc. show.
But, me too.
Well, while we're still waiting on our man who is in travels, Dennis Reaper, hopefully he joins us in the beginning of this. He is on his way down to the Ravens game down in Baltimore, and as soon as he gets in, we're gonna touch base with AAW, Atlantic All-Star Wrestling, which we attend. But we're also going to get into other news as well, as far as a bunch of news notes and whispers around the wrestling world of releases, rehab situations, and amongst other things that we might have dug up on the internet. But let's get into our cheap plugs. As always, you can check out all the Devereaux Sports podcast teams on Facebook.com, Twitter, and as well as probably Twitch as well. You got the Sullivan Squad kicking off Mondays at 6 p.m. The Old School Show. Tuesdays at 6:30. The Combat Misfits at 6 p.m. Thursday Night Slam, which is bi-weekly, every other Thursday, with me, Dennis, Mikey, and sometimes Austin. If you joined us, we don't know where he's been at. You know, he's been putting in a lot of work with his own show, getting his material ready. For Thursday Night Slam, the Scrapple Boys. Speaking of Austin, by the way, yeah, he's a part of the Scrapple Boys with Cheesesteak Chucky, and I believe Lieb's a part of that too, right?
If he stays awake, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, right now, their show is on hiatus. So eventually they'll come back in the picture. We'll see what's up, what's going on. On Sundays, as I mentioned earlier today, you got to hear the Gobbler Inc. at 9 a.m. The Combat Misfits, which should be on air right now, unless they're ending at 10 a.m. And us, Breakfast and Body Slams, part of the Body Slams podcast. We're here 11 a.m. This is our first show doing that at 11 a.m. on Sundays. And don't forget about our impromptu pipe bombs that can happen anytime, anywhere, with anyone. Now, one quick shout out to our podcast affiliates, the guys at the Tornado Tag Podcast, the 2300 Wrestling Podcast, Backstabbers Pro Wrestling Podcast, as well as our good friends all the way from Puerto Rico. Let's hear it, Mikey. Rotos ours.
So, Conversación de Lucha Libre.
The Rucha?
The
Lucha.
Lucha. I love that. I'm still practicing
Conversación
this.
de Lucha
Lucha
Libre. And
Libre.
all the way in Puerto Rico doing their things, showing much. I'm like, as you see, I got a bunch of snacks here. I've just been craving. Like, it's like diabetes for me. I love it. Good.
Well, it is breakfast and body slams, so.
Yeah, well, I got my coffee though. Got my green tea and stuff. I'm sure you got your coffee there. So, well, Dennis ain't here right now, so we're not gonna get into AAW right now. But this young man was there. He tell everyone your name, which I already said it earlier.
My name is. I'm not.
You don't know you forgot your name? Your name is Jay.
Yeah, Jay.
The grandson name as Jadiel, but I purposely call him Bubba J, which Bubba J, he says, what does Bubba J say? Bubba J, what are you doing?
Drinking beer and watching NASCAR.
Yeah, he's drinking beer and watching NASCAR. Hey, look,
Another left turn.
So
that's great.
As we wait for Dennis to jump in, if he jumps in, though, let's start off with some of the news. Mikey, I know you got some pulled up in front of you, probably.
Yes, I did. Yes, you are absolutely correct.
And we're gonna go to you to kick this off with our news. Why I start sharing the show out at the same time.
Okay, everyone. So, in the recent news, we will give you our reactions to the recent releases that I have here. Such names as Keith Lee, Karrion Kross, yes, you heard that correctly. Scarlett Bordeaux, which is the fiance of Karrion Kross. We also have Nia Jax, who was out on injury, as everybody saw. Shayna Baszler destroyed her elbow, and she was out. Eva Marie, I guess Doudrop doesn't have to worry about that one anymore, huh?
No, not at all.
Ember Moon, which is a shame because man, she was awesome. I loved her character. Great.
She was like that kind of shocked me because like they were just about to I guess give her a character change because she looked like she was making the heel turn there on you know,
yeah,
they made it look like, oh, I'm fed up, this and that. It's time for a change, that kind of stuff, and who knows?
And then she gets let go.
And you know what's funny though with a couple of names you mentioned, as far as like Keith Lee, what the hell was the name? Bearcat Lee. And then they were doing a thing with Karrion Kross too, and they get rid of these two guys who they have them on the main roster. They changed their gimmick. Thinking they're gonna do the better thing with them, and they just toss them to the side like yesterday's garbage.
Yeah, especially Karrion Kross's debut match. They don't put him over. Like, come on, WWE.
Well, like, it was kind of shaky with him. The way he was debuting on the main roster, because like it was a win here, a loss here, go back to NXT, look like a monster, you know. It was like, and then when he finally debuts, they make him look like the lost member of Demolition.
Yeah, with that ridiculous outfit. Sorry, I thought that was ridiculous, everyone.
No, it's quite all right. You can say what you want about it looking ridiculous because it actually did.
It really did.
And
also on the
not Nia Jax is even though we criticized her in the past about being
Shoot
safety
work.
reason, being a safety issue with the other talent, it still brought up as a huge surprise of her being let go. I did not see that coming at all. But
No,
her
I
run,
I
but
still thought she was going to return.
her run with Shayna Baszler was pretty interesting. They literally like made them two dominant forces in the women's tag team division. And then, it kind of with them being paired up, and then they had all the TikTok videos put out. She was much loosening up Baszler was with her character because she was a no nonsense, hard hitting badass. And
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, then she started doing these TikTok videos and stuff with Naya. Then you see her starting to loosen up, this and that. Now I think with the separation, and I'm not gonna say it's a good thing with Naya being out of the picture, but with them splitting up, I honestly do think with everything going on right now with Shayna, I think they're trying to mold her back into her killer instinct ways, that what she was beforehand.
Yep. Well, the other thing is they what they could have done is kept going with the who's going to stop her from this nasty, you know, reign that she was on of hurting all these people, and then bring Naya back and like when she she's gloating about this person that she just destroyed, and then here's Naya that like for the shock value, like oh, she's back, but
Yeah.
unfortunately that's not going to happen now.
And what was some of the other names you mentioned on that list? I'm sorry, I cut you off. I start to get to talking, and I
Scarlett
just went in a list here.
Bordeaux,
Okay,
who is the fiance of Karrion Kross.
Yeah. You know what? They were a hot item in NXT, and they were on the Indies as well as a big item. But then as soon as they split him up when he came up to Raw, and they left her on the sideline, it was like it's like they didn't have nothing for her. It was just like it was
No,
her
but
and
you know
Cross
what?
was a
They could have.
package.
Yeah, exactly. And they should have kept that package because she would have been a great heel manager on the main roster as well as she was on NXT.
Exactly. And
Like,
I don't think it um by far trying to say that she was a great heel manager. Uh like as far as I want to say, she was more mystical type of manager when it comes to like she wasn't like the sensational Sherry type heel manager.
right.
We got a shout out in the room here. This is DB Richards from the 23 Wrestling Podcast. How you doing, brother? Waking
What's
up
up,
this
buddy?
early in the morning. We're just discussing the recent releases of these WWE stars. Please, Mikey, continue with so some of that list again. Like I said, I keep cutting you off. I don't mean to.
That's all right. And then I've mentioned the person that Dewdrop doesn't have to worry about, Miss Eva Marie, who was let go again. Not just this isn't the first.
Well, you know what I say. That's enough said. We really don't have to say nothing about that, though. To me, all she was just a pretty face, and that's it. End of story. What do you think, Jay? Just a pretty face? Do you even know who we're talking about? No, exactly. Like I said, he's
Are you
new to
paying
the business.
attention, young man?
Like I said, the kid's new to the business, and he's learning. He got his training wheels on, and we're trying to school him. All right.
Sounds good.
Uh,
So another name on the list we have next is Frankie Monet, who people don't know. She actually trained down. She was the Lucha wrestling school.
yeah.
So she's got some high flying techniques that no one knows about.
Well, besides all that, but that was a huge surprise anyway with her release, because she was doing good things there with Robert Stone on NXT.
Yeah, yes, she was.
So,
And she kind of reminded me of like You remember, like, back in the day, Rick Martel, when he had that arrogant, like, look at me kind of thing? She kind of had that kind of persona with,
Oh, you
like,
mean like when he was doing the
I'm,
model gimmick?
yeah, the model, like, I'm better than, like, she kind of had that, it reminded me of that persona a little bit. Like, oh, okay, this is kind of like a modern day, kind of like that, which I liked.
Mm. A couple of the other guys I noticed on the list that I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but as far as Grand Metalik was released, Lindsay Dorado.
Yes, B-Fab.
Yeah, I'm surprised that B-Fab, Hit Row was getting over big time. That
Yes,
there
they
is one
were.
of that there was one of the big shots because they just brought her up.
And then they bring her up. She shows up, and then now she's gone. Like, come on, she would have been. I was looking forward to see who she's going to tangle with. Like, all right,
Yeah.
it adds something
Uh,
new, a new element to the
and
women's
there,
division.
you know what? And there was, wait, was it B-Fab? I read somewhere one of the girls when they just released them, they literally just signed. Yeah, DB saying he feels like WWE is cutting back on the roster to do one brand. I really don't see that as much. I think they're just toning it down financially, and I believe it's big business. The guys in the boardroom and stuff like that who
Yeah,
the television executives,
yeah,
the networks, as some people call them.
right.
Look,
That.
you
Hey,
got
what's
your
up, Pat?
yeah, the gobbler checking in on us as we're sitting here doing this. Like I said, it's just me and Mikey. No Austin, no Dennis yet. So if Patrick, if you're listening to us and if you want to jump in on our conversation, you're welcome to come in the room on Breakfast and BodySlams as well. So just
Yes,
let
you
us
are now
know.
out of the Body Slams podcast jail.
Yes, we gave you parole from Facebook or podcast jail right now. So you are permitted to jump in if you want at this moment.
Okay.
What?
Can I go to the bathroom?
Sure, yeah. Yeah,
We have
we got a bathroom break going on. Run, kid,
uh
run.
oh we have
Make sure you wipe, flush, and wash your hands. I see you got some technical difficulties with the lighting outside. Got the sun shining in on you.
oh yeah, I had to close the blinds. It was like you wouldn't have been able to see my face. You couldn't see
And
me.
and, and going on some of those releases, I didn't get to read per se in depth. But speaking
Right?
of Lindsay Dorado, have you seen anything about the on Twitter going on with him?
No, I
As far as
haven't.
remember the little girl Izzy that used to go to the NXT show, but she was like Billy's biggest fan and stuff like that. With the
Yes,
ponytail.
yes.
Well, apparently, I guess her dad made some comments on Twitter, I guess directed towards Dorado. And Dorado
Ooh.
didn't take too kindly of it. And pretty much I guess he shared the photos where he literally bought a ticket, paid for the parking spot for her dad to show up. You know, uh he tried apologizing
Right.
on Twitter, but I don't think Dorado took too kindly of his apology. And like I said, he sent out the ticket and the parking for this guy to show up at event uh to meet him face to face or whatever. And he no shows that. And then apparently his Twitter account is deactivated right now. So
Wow.
he was definitely calling out. So you know what? If you turn
That's crazy.
if you turn your camera with the light facing the back of your camera, like facing you instead of it being behind you, we won't get that glare then a little bit. Just giving you a heads up there. No, well, I'm gonna say if you moved over a little bit too, but just let it go.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. We'll figure it out eventually. And then also in the news of wrestling, we very heartbreak for everyone because everyone has someone dealing with some kind of illness, some kind of disease or whatever. And currently, John Moxley has took it upon himself to place himself into rehab for alcohol.
Yes.
Now,
It's addiction's tough, whether it's alcohol or drugs. I mean, I know someone who's going through not an alcohol addiction, but a drug addiction, and they've been struggling with that for quite a while now, and it affects some people close to me, and it's to take a stand and go and get yourself help. Yeah, you got my respect, buddy.
yeah, they if anyone's out there struggling, just like CM Punk said on Dynamite, he put it out there hey, much respect and love going out to Moxley and his family, what they're going through. And he mentioned that if anyone who's struggling with whatever kind of addiction, don't be afraid to ask for help. Because you're not in it alone. We're all in this together.
Right.
And it's just, and I see it every day at my place of business. Like people are like, I run security, and people come in, whether it's mental health, drug and alcohol, trying to go to detox, rehab. They're all seeking some kind of help to close the door on that chapter in their life, so they can move forward as a productive member of society in the best ways possible, not just for themselves, but also for their children, their loved ones, as well as their spouses. So yeah, John Moxley is definitely doing the right thing, getting that help he needs. We don't know how the relationship was, the marriage and stuff like that. As far as I know, it was on good standings. It was just, I guess, from my understanding, I guess he was just doing it all on his own. He was self-medicating, because when you're on the road like that, you start taking whether drinking, pills, whatever, and your body's getting abused day in and day out. It's something hard, especially with all kind of sports players, baseball, football, whatever, basketball, you name it, especially these big athletes who are in like trying to struggle as much as the Olympics, because you're not just trying to do your best for your own team or your own city,
Right.
whatever. When you're in the Olympics and stuff like that, you're struggling for the whole US, the whole country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the whole country.
So you got a lot of weight on your shoulders, and when you're medicating injuries the way a lot of them do, it becomes a difficult thing. Let's transcend into some WWE stuff for the week. Mikey, what do we have? We're starting off with Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw. Wow, we had the women's title, the Raw women's title, with Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. And we saw that it did not end well for Bianca, especially when Becky did the old heel roll up, grab the tights with the ref not looking.
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3, get.
Yeah. And
Oh man.
Her character is just getting more arrogant and cocky, and
Yes.
I mean,
she's becoming a big time heel. That's for sure.
Yeah, during Raw, I had got to see one of my favorites right now currently, who I say he is. Me personally, I say he's the next John Cena. He's a good looking kid, very talented, whatsoever. Cena, he came in with that ruthless aggression. Eventually, he turned heel when he was doing his old Doctor Thugonomics. Then slowly, he started changing to a baby face. Which the guy, I think he's very entertaining. He's funny as hell too, as well when he wants to be, and that's Austin Theory.
I was gonna say, is that Mr. Austin Theory?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Him and
Who?
him and Ray killed it. But as you were talking about the other night, the whole thing between Ray and Dominic.
Yes. So everyone who might be just tuning in or had just caught Monday Night Raw, this started a little while back when Dominic was having matches with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn got into the head of little young Dominic, and well, now we're starting to slowly see it take effect because Dominic is doing some shady things to give away that sooner or later he's going to turn on his dad. For instance,
Do you really
the
think it's
most
shady things? You really think it's not just showing like as it being accidental? It don't look like he's intentionally doing shady things at all. That's what it doesn't look like on screen. That when the fans are sitting there watching it.
true, but from the outside look, I can like that's definitely there's definitely red flags because
we have to look at it as part of both sides of the fence. One, we gotta look at it as a fan's perspective, how they're viewing it on screen, and then how behind the scenes, how we can legitimately see what the writers and the producers backstage what they want done out there for the fans. So for their marks, for the target audience. So we gotta look at both sides of the fence to see how this is working out. And literally on screen wise, it doesn't look like it's deliberate, like the way you just said at all. It's to me, it's the whole classic accidental, complaining back and forth. Oh, why'd you do this? You should have done that, or blah blah blah. And eventually, it's gonna turn into like how anyone it builds up with so much anger, this and that, and finally he just like I can't take it no more and just snaps. And how far along down the line do you see this turn happening?
I'm gonna say it's not gonna be at probably after Survivor Series because they're gonna keep building it up more and more, and then I think after Survivor Series, then that's when it explodes. Maybe something happens at Survivor Series where it's like the next night on Raw, it's like what the.
Okay.
Because what's going to happen is Dominic is going to pull the classic line of when he turns on his dad, he's going to say that his dad's been trying to steal a spotlight. He's been under the shadow, the whole nine.
I was just thinking
and we've
about
seen that in the
being
past.
the shadow. Yes.
Yep, because I mean, if we go back to the Hart brothers,
now
Brett and Owen.
Look, I was just about to go there. You're on point with me right now. Everything you're talking right now is exactly what I'm thinking. Now,
because that's exactly what Owen said.
Now, how you said it's going to turn later on after SummerSlam. Now, SummerSlam is here in
Survivor Series.
I mean Survivor Series, correct? Sorry, it's here in November, and not too far down the road, in like what 2-3 months after that, we have Royal Rumble. I'm thinking something's going to happen where it's going to be they're on a Survivor Series match team. Somehow something happens where Dominic gets eliminated, maybe by his dad by accident. He gets pissed off, even though Dominic was causing his dad matches. Just so happens it happens now with Dad causing Dominic to be eliminated. Dominic's frustrated and stuff. So it takes like the weeks and the months, whatever, until let's say Rumble or whatever, or before Rumble. What
Right.
happens before that? You know, they try to apologize, they try to work it out. Eventually, Donna says, "The hell with this, I'm done." It's Splitsville. Come Royal Rumble time, they're both
They
in
have a
there.
match.
No, not have a match in the Rumble. I see Dominic
Ah.
eliminating his dad in the Rumble. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
I'm far from saying he's gonna win it, but I'm saying he will eliminate Ray in the Rumble.
I can see that happen.
If it works in that pattern, a la the Hearts with the whole Survivor Series instance, where, like I said, one gets eliminated, they start arguing, whatever, they try to work it out, and it builds to where finally it's Splitsville. The whole
Yep.
the family is in turmoil and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So like, but that is what it is. One of the big matches that was on Raw was Finn Balor taking on Chad Gable. Now we already know Finn Balor is A+ player on Raw. He's one of the top guys, hands down. It is what it is. Chad Gable, he has my utmost respect, my biggest props. I always said they need to push Otis and Gable together. To me, it's like seeing a Hart Foundation. You got one that reminds you of Anvil. The other one is a technician where he reminds you of Brett, as
Right.
well as Kurt Angle. And speaking of Kurt Angle came out on an interview saying, I don't know if it was Twitter or an interview. I forget which one it was. Came out and saying he would love to come back to WWE as a manager and manage the Alpha Academy. And
that would be awesome.
And if that happens, they're just straight gonna kill it. They're gonna kill it. It's gonna be great.
That's gonna put them way over.
One of the other matches on Monday night we got to see was a little changing character. Is this the beginning of a heel turn, or is he just like bringing out another side of, like, almost like Finn Balor has a demon, or is he bringing out a demon side of him, and that is Damian Priest?
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. I don't know. I kind of don't like it because it feels like it's not original. Because it feels like it's parallel with Balor, like you said, bringing out the demon side. It's like, my first thought was, we've seen this already. We have this already. That's called Finn Balor. Oh, why do we need another guy doing something similar to that whole gimmick?
Yeah, but you figure what they had the demon, then they had the Fiend, and don't forget we also had, before the Undertaker retired, we had him. We had Kane making an appearance once in a while here and there. Then you got this chick, Alexa Bliss. It's like, okay. To me, it seems like WWE is trying to get back to the old school gimmickry. They're getting back to the big guys. As we noticed, they're starting to push the big guys again.
Yep.
The more character-wise gimmicks, as you've seen, NXT went from that dark type atmosphere to a bright, colorful, kid-like atmosphere, like almost seeing like a Sunday morning cartoon type thing. So it's like,
yes.
it's taking a reverse backwards, just to back to the good old days. I'm gonna say like of the 80s, maybe not, or early 90s. Which I don't mind. Me personally, I don't mind, because I'm a child of the 80s and 90s. How about you? Are you a child of the 80s, 90s, Jay?
No.
No. What do you mean no? You're about what, 45? You had that mustache on yesterday, or no, the other day. Yeah, no, yesterday.
I shaved it.
You saved your oh, you shaved it or saved it?
No, I shaved it.
You shaved it. He shaved his hair. This kid here. Uh, and we had a big surprise with Big E laying out Kevin Owens at the end of the match. Kevin Owens tried to apologize. He didn't.
yeah.
Saying he did not see Seth Rollins interfering. But when you literally go back and watch, hands down, anybody, even the dumbest fan would even see this. You could see Kevin Owens literally look directly at Seth Rollins after the incident was done. He just looked and then finally covered. He went for the cover and he didn't get the count.
No, this is it's Kevin Owens. He's got a history of don't trust him.
Your brother's jumping ahead. We're not even on your brother's jumping ahead. We're not even on SmackDown yet, and he's talking about the Viking Raiders.
We'll get there. We're talking about Monday Night Raw, Pat. Relax. Yeah. We'll get there.
And Jared said, I guess they're talking about Vince. He is stuck in the past. Vince needs to take his hand out of the business and let Triple H's vision take its course. A lot of people say that, but then at the same time, I guess they're trying to cater to all sorts of fans.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to remember, they're trying to be kid friendly as well.
Yeah, they're trying to be modern, new age, as well as kid, old school friendly too. At the same time, I see where the part where it says he needs to step aside, but like I said, he also remembers of the fans that brought him to the table, who bought the pay-per-views, who bought the tickets, the older ones that is now. They are the older ones who are still around.
Like us old fogies.
Yeah. Jared says, F them kids. Okay. You heard that. He said it, not us. Not us.
Jared. Sounds like Brock Lesnar now.
And then jumping ship onto Tuesday night, we had NXT, and I don't have my results in front of me. I'm a bad man because I was actually
we had Mandy Rose kicked it off.
Yes,
and she said that her Toxic Attraction is going to run the place now, and she got a little surprised by by Io Shirai. She kind of reminds me of Asuka a little bit.
Yes. Actually, there's a lot of the Asian girls out there, the Joshis, as you call it in Japan. They kind of all remind you of Asuka, but Asuka, when she was doing her thing over in Japan as Kana, she was holding it down, and that's what attracted WWE to sign her. So,
all right.
I'm just trying to bring up my notes here. Good. Please continue with NXT. I'm going to look up SmackDown if I can.
Io Shirai is a great performer, and I could see her taking it. I kind of feel like she deserves it. I mean, she puts on a great show for the fans. She's great as a babyface. And she has a lot of high-flying history, not just with New Japan, but when she came over here, she worked at Lucha Underground. She did a lot of work there. So, like I said, she's a great performer. And, yes, as we were saying, she reminds you of Asuka. And definitely... see her. I love watching her, and I think she deserves. I feel like she deserves to be in the title spot, and she's been deserving of it.
Yes. Another standout star that they got that they're growing is Braun Breaker. I see really big things for this kid here. I think he will definitely going to be the face of NXT with like by the year's end.
He
I think
squashed
I
Andre Chase. he destroyed that dude.
oh that match was like I wait how long did it go? Did it even go a minute? I'm not even
I don't
sure.
think so. It was so quick.
Mm.
I was like, because I seen the suplex, and it, next thing you know, it's like
Yeah.
he plants on with that gorilla power slam, and it was like, damn, match is over that quick.
We're gonna switch gears over because they only had like what a couple matches there, and like I liked it better when
Yeah, we got to see
they
actually
got like
see
what three matches. That's it because
Solo
yes,
Sikoa's
and
debut match. That was good.
that match didn't even last that long too as well. I can't really talk about it because he just went in there and beat the hell out of the dude. Really, it's
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the time when he gets a nice so someone to work with and where he can really show his skills, what he can do. Now, switching gears, we're gonna jump on the Friday night with SmackDown now, but we're not gonna jump on the AEW quite yet. We're gonna leave that we're gonna leave that door open for a little bit until we get to it. So Friday night there was a couple big things that happened. The whole thing with King Woods as well with Roman Reigns. I believe it was Jimmy Uso, not Jay.
Yes.
It was Jimmy Uso, the face. Since he took the pin in the match, in the tag match against the New Day, they had some words and stuff where if Jimmy Uso against King Woods, and if King Woods loses, he would have to drop to one knee and acknowledge Roman Reigns. All right. And then
Yep.
if Uso loses, him himself, he would have to drop to one knee and pay respects to King Woods. And as it looked like after he lost, he was almost there, dropping to one knee, and out of nowhere, Roman Reigns comes off from the side with that Superman punch, and he basically knocked that out the park. He's like, "Oh hell no, that's not happening." Yeah, because
no, and I could tell that was going to be a hooker crook kind of match.
oh, most definitely,
it's like
it's like okay, it's like being in a fight against someone with their gang. That's what it is. Like,
right.
okay, if he's beating your ass, he can walk around saying, "Hey, yeah, I whooped him, this and that." But when you're whooping on him, his boys are gonna jump in it and get involved.
Oh yeah, and if you're whipping on this boys, he's gonna jump in.
And then
it's like
yeah, so what's gonna happen is then after they all jump in, instead of that guy walking around saying I whooped his ass, they're all saying we whooped his ass. So you couldn't do it on your own, basically. It's gang warfare when it's in WWE.
What do you think of Sonya Deville going on her power trip here?
Dude, you are reading my mind. I was literally gonna bring that up right now. How are you doing? It ain't
I know. Great minds think alike.
I was literally about to go off that right now with Shayna Baszler and Naomi.
Yes, back to what we were saying about Shayna.
Yeah, I find it funny as hell that they're having her go this route because there's been talks about her making a return to the ring, and like who knows, maybe this is just the beginning. That way it builds up for something between her and Naomi as well to get her back into the ring. So I'm thinking this is
this is the
first part of the development of getting her back.
I like that she's kind of got that Stephanie McMahon thing going on, like that power trip kind of like it's making you feel like I just want to see Naomi like knock her on her ass, you know?
Oh yeah. Then we got to see in the locker room where Mustafa Ali approached Ricochet, trying to become a tag team with him, and Ricochet shot him down really quick.
Yeah, he did. At first, it sounded like a heel line when he came out and answered Drew McIntyre's challenge, and he said, "Oh, about like it doesn't matter all the catchphrases and all that stuff." And I was like, because it sounded like he was going to say, and I don't care what the fans say, like what anybody says, like that's where I thought he was going. So I was like, ooh, this sounds kind of heel.
Yeah,
So that's why I thought maybe he was starting to turn, but I was wrong.
You know, it's I didn't see that myself personally, but we're gonna get into your Mark brother, Pat, what he was saying earlier about the Viking Raiders' best gimmicks out there. One more time, if the people didn't see it, they can see it one more time. This schmuck. It's not the best gimmick, but it is one of the fun ones, I say, because it's it's a nice throwback type character of like like the Samoans or the Moondogs, that type of stuff like that. So yeah, it fits the mode. With him being on SmackDown and stuff like that. And I mentioned this before. And nobody likes to hear me on it. They're on SmackDown right now. He's saying like the best gimmick. So, and they're one of the top teams and all this. Usos, tag team champions, go after the tag team titles. What better way do a Survivor Series match, a 3-on-3 or whatever, instead of New Day? Because I know what some people are going to go a Raw brand against SmackDown brand. They might do that without the champions though. But as far as Roman Reigns with the Usos, Brock Lesnar teaming up with the Viking Raiders, I can see that happening.
Yeah, that would be freaking awesome.
Yes, that
dude, I would love that. Yeah,
that would be a killer ass match. I don't know how many times I gotta say that, and people just don't listen to me. But it's all right. It's okay. We can get.
Hey, we're the analysts here, people. Okay.
Well, we try to be analysts. We're more like the analists. So, Pat, if you want, you can chime in on that one since we touched upon your
since you're too scared to jump in the room,
which they just went head to head with Happy Corbin and what's the other dude's Cap
Madcap Moss.
Yeah, dude, this like I like the Happy Corbin when it started. Now it's like it's out of control. It's ridiculous now.
Corbin was better when he did the NXT badass version,
okay, but then he started losing his hair. He didn't have that look anymore. Isn't that?
Yeah.
Okay, I liked when he was down on his luck. For him to strike it rich for whatever reason, and he's still a heel. I would have liked to see it better where, okay, he's struggling to get back on his feet, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Eventually, he becomes a babyface. That would have been hands down the perfect thing to do for him like that. He starts getting the
That's
fans
where I
behind
thought
him.
It was actually going to go. I thought he was actually going to turn because that's what they were making it look like.
Yes. You know what? We're not going to actually get into what happened on AEW though, but we will try to get into the AEW Full Gear. I'm trying to pull the line up here right now. I have a couple.
I was gonna say I have it up right here.
You have it up, good. Start us off.
Yes, I do.
I'll have you start.
Okay, so the lineup follows as AEW World Championship. It's Kenny Omega, the champion, versus Hangman Adam Page.
Now, do you think Adam Page is going to take it?
That's a tough one. Only because of the fact that that's the way it looks like. I mean, I can see just by the build up, but I'm on the fence because it's like just because it looks like that doesn't mean that's the way it's gonna go. So and Kenny Omega, let's not forget, he's got the All Elite. But then again, Hangman Page, he's got backup too. So
but I think this is going to be for this here. I believe they might do a nice straight up right down the middle. I don't think they're gonna incorporate anybody from the Elite in this match. I think
So you don't think it's gonna be Hook or Crook?
No, I think they're gonna let Page have his moment. A clean victory, just a straight up 1-on-1 between Omega and Page. I can see that happening. They're he
if it's straight up, I'm gonna say then possibly Hangman Adam Page. If it's a straight up match, yes.
Even if it's Hook or Crook, I'm still gonna go with Hangman Page over on this. They're gonna make this his moment.
Yeah, I mean that's the way they're building it. So I hope, but Tony Khan is, he kind of when it goes that direction, sometimes that's the way it ends up being. So we'll see.
What we got?
So the next one is the Women's World Championship. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD champion versus Tay Conti.
I'm gonna go with I have to go with Baker on this one. We see our man Dennis has finally joined us. Let's see if we can get him in the
Hey,
Dennis, can you hear us?
hey, what's up, buddy?
It's crowded here. It is crowded in Baltimore. Literally, I don't know what to do with myself.
But
I do not have an earpiece because I lost it, so it's hard to hear.
Okay, well, I'm glad you were able to get in and show your love and support for us right now. And me and Mikey, we're killing it. We're getting through the show here without you and Austin. So we're managing. We actually covered a lot of WWE. We're on AEW where we're talking about Full Gear right now, and if you notice, I got my junior analyst sitting next to me, Jay. Since he was there last night, he's gonna talk about some of the AAW with me.
He was there last night, but I think he was more interested on a cell phone.
Yeah, but he watched some of the matches though too. So, Jay, you want to tell him off?
I want so.
Tell him bite me.
But
Bite me.
look, the young man came in handy last night because my tablet kept dying, and he saved the day by letting me borrow his charger for the last two matches.
Good job. Welcome to the business, kid.
So I gotta give him credit. He saved the day on it. Due to technical difficulties.
Yeah. All right. Well, Dennis, you have fun down there at the Ravens. Me and Mikey's gonna get back to the show with the Full Gear predictions, and we'll see you actually Thursday night.
Yes, we will talk. You guys have a good rest of the show. Sorry I couldn't be there all with you guys, but you guys got this.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Enjoy yourself.
Take it easy, buddy.
Well, that was cool. He came and joined us for a short,
Yes,
quick howdy. So, anyway, like I said, Dr. Britt Baker is walking away. She's walking in as the champ and walking out.
And she is definitely walking out.
Okay. I don't know how
because of the fact
Austin or Dennis feels about that. I'm sure eventually we're gonna get their comments or whatnot beforehand before next Saturday. It is. Matter of fact, just to let you know, newsflash, I heard that the movie theaters located here locally they're going to be airing Full Gear in their movie theater here.
Oh, wow.
So you can reserve your tickets now. I'll send you the link then. I don't have it in front of me, but I can send you the link then. And I don't know if they're doing it around your area, but if we can get a couple of the guys there, we can go watch Full Gear in the theater as they're going to be playing it on the big screen.
That would be cool. Yeah, send me the link so I can see if it's around me or see where it's at. Make it over there.
Definitely. Next up on the Full Gear
is the AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament. We have Bryan Danielson versus Miro. Here's two former WWE guys about to go head to head.
You got me here on this one. Hands down, from a fan perspective, people are going to want to see Bryan Danielson go over on this. But at the same time, on Devil's Advocate, people are definitely going to want to see Miro because they were a huge fan of his when he was with WWE still. And then when he come over here, it's just like how he wants to redeem himself with his God and his woman. And it's like,
True, but the fan in me thinks that Bryan Danielson's going to take it only because he's still carrying the whole yes movement, even though he doesn't do it. The fans, they can do it and not get in trouble.
That's good. But I'm gonna have to go with Miro. All right, here's the first one we are divided on. The other two we picked the same. Now, I'm going with I'm gonna say Bryan Danielson is gonna do the honors. He's gonna even though Miro's already over, he's already over. But Danielson's his personal status is so much far more well loved in the wrestling world. I think he's gonna do the honors for Miro, put him over, which just all it was gonna do is gonna push his status way up high. And he's already a made man in the he already is. So, but like I said, I'm going with Miro. You're going with Danielson for Full Gear for the tournament finals. What do we have next?
We have the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The Lucha Brothers, Rey Fenix and Penta El Zero Miedo. I hope I said that correctly and not butcher his name.
Just say Penta.
Penta?
Penta and Phoenix.
Who are the champions going against AEW Tag Team Champions, going against FTR, which is Dax Hardwood and Cash Wheeler.
And your picks going in this one?
I'm going to say the Lucha Brothers keep it because it's still new. I'm going to say they keep it.
No, I'm going to have to go with FTR on this one here. Sorry, but I gotta. I see them, even though they're still pretty much doing the same type of stuff. They're literally slowly pushing them in a different direction. I see. I say eventually they're gonna pull them from the pinnacle and make them shine more without the pinnacle, without MJF, even though they're already huge stars as it is. If you notice, they got that new theme song. It was it was pretty much paying tribute to the Midnight Express. It's actually online. I can actually download it if I want to. It actually sounds pretty hot. But yeah, I'm going with FTR over on the Lucha Brothers.
Well, we're divided again because I took the Lucha Brothers this time as champions.
How many matches?
And walk out.
How many matches do they have on this card here?
Okay, so they have 3 championship matches, the championship tournament, and then they have 1, 2, 3, 4 more matches.
So about eight
So
matches altogether. About.
yeah,
Oh wait, I was gonna say one of the matches they probably have listed is the CM Punk Eddie Kingston.
yes, that promo by Eddie Kingston, he came right out with it. He said, "Yeah, this is a shot.
Yes.
The best wrestling company in the world." I was like, "Damn, he came well with it."
No, but it was a lot more like when you listen to guys, particularly like Kingston, when they're on that mic and they're spitting that fire, telling it how it is, about the grind, about not making it. Then you got guys on Punk who wants to make excuses of why they didn't make. Well, you only didn't make it because you didn't put the effort in, and this and that and that. Everybody has their own version. As far as like if you have, let's say you have heat with your brother, one of them, whichever one,
Right.
and you're both always blaming each other for something. In either of your own stories, you are the good guys, and the other one is the bad guy, no matter what. And that's
Yep.
what's going on here between Kingston and Punk. They both have their own versions of stories of how things went down on the indies and this and that and whatever. And they're both always going to be the good guy in their own story, and everyone else is the bad guy. And that's how it is in life in general.
Yes, that's so true. Definitely.
And your pick.
And
I'm saying we're going to be divided here. I think we're
you
going to
know
be
what?
divided.
I'm going to say Eddie Kingston.
Holy shit. I was wrong. I'm going for Kingston as well. I want to go for Kingston as well. But with AEW management and stuff like that, I think they're going to put Punk over. Only because to build Punk up to the bigger guys in AEW for the bigger matches, so they have to build him up slowly. That's why he took the matches like with Darby Allin and whoever, and now Kingston.
Kingston.
To build up
that does make sense.
Build up to the bigger guys. I want to. Okay, as far as management wise goes, Punk's over, but me, I want to see Kingston over personally. But if Punk lays down for Kingston, then it might be something there where they're gonna build up for more feuds after this. I think if Kingston's over,
right,
this ain't gonna be in. It's gonna continue. It's gonna definitely continue.
Oh yeah, probably even all the way to the next pay-per-view after this if Kingston goes over.
Yeah, it'll probably be like some kind of blow-off match, like a cage match or something like that along the line.
We also have a Falls Count Anywhere match with the Super Click, Adam Cole and the Young Bucks versus Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. That's going to be a brutal match. Yeah. I know that's going to be a nasty, nasty match. But I would not be surprised to see Christian Cage and Jurassic Express go over.
No, not at all. No. By far, no. As much as the fans want it, they see that. I say the Super Click is definitely going to go over in this one. Only why? Because the match from that particular, what everyone wants to see, they're going to want to see Jungle Boy against Adam Cole one-on-one in a big match. So they're probably going to have Adam Cole pin Jungle Boy in this match because all hell's going to be breaking loose between.
Yeah,
all
that's
six
what I was gonna
guys there.
say. This is
It's
gonna
gonna
be an all hell's breaking loose. Just
They're
when
gonna
you
be hitting.
think
It's going to be a spot fest. They're going to be hitting moves after moves after moves after moves, and boom, Cole's gonna score the pinfall victory, and that's it. You know, but like I said, it's gonna build for that one-on-one match between Cole and
that's a
Jungle
big
Boy.
hooker crook match too.
Well, people want to see that. It's been building since Cole came in.
Yes, it has. We also have MJF versus Darby Allin.
Shit. I'm. I know.
I would like to see Darby Allin go over,
I like to see MJF go over, honestly.
But I think that MJF is going over. Like,
see, this is where we're. This
because
is where
he's a good heel. I mean, well, because they're going to keep building him as a top heel. They're going to keep him over as a top heel.
Here's the thing with everything going on with Darby Allin, with everything they've done with him, you know, outside in the parking lot wearing the black mask, plus him being Sting Light, I want to say, you know, the little Stinger or whatever.
Sting Jr.
Him being like almost like they're trying to build him up to be like one of the new faces of AEW, which he was here since day one. But I just have a hard time with the size difference with him being so small as he is, though. Being like one like I see more like Hangman Page being the face of AEW than him or like
I agree.
But I can see them definitely putting Darby Allin over. I preferentially would rather prefer seeing MJF going over. Eventually down the road, I would like to see Darby Allin turn heel and be like, yo, I don't want to be in Sting's shadow, you know.
That's the feeling I get sometimes when I see Darby Allin and some of his promo. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I get this vibe like, he is bound to turn.
You got to remember though. Here's the thing though. His promos are like I'm not gonna say cryptic. They're like I don't know, just like creepy type. You know, like regular plain. You know, soft spoken. Like the dark that's in them and stuff like that. So, but it is what it is. So, but like I said, you say MJF, I say Darby Allin's over, but I would like to see MJF though. I'm siding with you, but like I said, I can see the network, the company itself putting Darby over though on this one.
And then we have finally a last but not least, the Minneapolis street fight, the Inner Circle versus the Men of the Year.
Oh, obviously we know who's going over in this one. It is definitely the Inner Circle. And they're gonna pin or submit was what they call him, fat face dipshit Lambert.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the way that's gonna go down. He great, yo. Honestly, for not being a wrestler, great on the mic of drawing that heat in. He brings it every time. And like it kind of surprised me the first time he did it. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, he got some mic skills. I'm surprised. And then next thing you know, he's trading shots and he's dogging the fans in whatever city he goes to, this and that. And like, okay, he can hold his own on the mic. That's what's up.
Yep.
I think in the match they're gonna have him more of like play the manager role, where the manager don't get in the ring all the time. The only time he's gonna get tugged in when the guy's already down on the mat. He's gonna come in, throw a couple punches, throw a couple little kicks, quick tag back out, get back out and stand on the apron. But definitely I see the Inner Circle over on
Yeah, I'm going with you on that one.
on dipshit.
On the dipshit.
Now is that it for the card, or do they have like a buy-in?
Yeah, no, that's it.
So
That's it for the card.
So they don't have a pre-show buy-in match or anything going on?
I don't see anything listed about that, no.
Sorry, I'm just stuffing my
Unless
face
they
here.
add it in, but I don't see it.
Stuffing my face with this fruit snacks. So, well, they're healthy. But for what they listed, there's sometimes on pay-per-views and stuff they don't post all the matches. So who knows? There could be 1 or 2 extra matches that we don't know about.
Right, exactly.
Now, to end the show, I was at Atlantic All-Star Wrestling in Mooresville, PA yesterday. Me and Dennis Reaper were on duty. We tried to get our buddy Mikey to show up, but he has some other obligations. He just didn't want to go with us.
But I do want to go with you guys. I definitely want to go with you guys to an indie wrestling show and see what it's all about.
Well, here's the thing. I got a show to go to next week up in North Jersey. Closer to you in South Jersey is Super Crazy Pro Wrestling. They're going to be at the Skid Row Academy. They're going to be there on Saturday. I'll send you the event details. Go check them out. You'll like it. Trust me.
All right.
You'll and then you can give us your review. Who knows? You might even see Dennis there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because he said something about working with them, right?
Well, once in a while we work with them.
Right.
But yeah, but AAW, Jay, you were there with me, peeping out AAW, and it's not the first independent show you've been to. You've been through a couple with me, helping out here and there. It's a little bit hard for you because home life, you're not really watching wrestling at home. The only time you're really watching anything wrestling when you're with Pop. Yeah. That's about it. So I'm trying to but when we're doing the ring rentals and stuff like that, and you're in the ring, you're bouncing around with your brother, you're jumping off the top ropes. I got pictures online of you doing this stuff, having fun. You guys obviously enjoy the ring. If you've had more attraction to it, where you were like a part of it, checking it out, which if you travel with me, you're gonna know. He's gonna know more of the indie stars, Mikey,
right,
who I work with, before he really knows any of the stars on WWE and stuff. Because, like I said, he don't really watch it at home. So he's gonna pick up on this on the indies before he picks up on what's on TV. So
but that actually benefits him, because when he sees guys that he saw on the indies, he'll be like, "Yeah, I know that guy."
Yeah. So some of the matches we had. I'm not gonna go down the whole list, but we had some of the matches we had. I'm gonna go out there and say we had Tony Batista taking on Sinister X against Malta the Damager. Do you remember that match?
Yeah.
What'd you like about that match? Come on, give us your feedback, and don't think too long because you're talking. We're on air. Well, I'll tell you this much. I know Tony Batista. He's and we had him on the show here.
Yeah,
we had Tony Batista on the show. I literally call him the new blue chipper of pro wrestling. Not since Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He has that. In fact, he's a tall, young, good-looking kid, well put together. He's a veteran of the military. So his cardio is up to par. He's always hitting the gym and stuff like that. And when he's in there in the ring, he's going up against these two big, huge monsters in Damager and Sinister X. And he had his work cut out for him. These two big guys, they figured, you know what? we're gonna take Batista. We're gonna pick him apart. He's a young guy, but Batista, with these guys being as big as they are, you could tell their cardio wasn't all there. So it was easier for Batista to get his win back in him every time he got knocked out. It was easy for him because of his cardio workout, his military background, the way he pushed through the pain and try to fight back. But unfortunately, all that agility and experience did not help him due to the powerhouse monster of Sinister X. Now, this guy has a neck on him like a brick shithouse, and like, just like the hits and the blows, they may not be fast. They might come slow at a pace, but it's that blunt force trauma when he delivers that impact. That's where he does the most damage. So I wish you were there, Mikey. Like I have a little bit more. I could, then we can feed off, talk to each other. Jay,
Right.
Jay.
Sounds like an interesting match, though.
Oh yes, definitely was. We had the women's match for the AAW Women's Championship. It was Izzy McCoy taking on JC Storm and Princess Valerie.
Yeah, I remember that match.
Yeah, and what do you remember about that match?
I remember where she elbowed. Wait, what was her name?
So you gotta start learning, kid. See, I brought you on. You're dropping the ball already. You're dropping the ball already. No lie, we already know this. Like I said, me and Dennis was on commentary. He referenced that Izzy McCoy is my niece. And and we were talking a little trash because that's what we can do as we're on commentary. Me and Dennis was having fun. We had a ball. Princess Valerie, she had one thing to her advantage, which was she had her mate at ringside, Sam Thompson, which she was out ringside for him for his match earlier. But you figured you would think that would work to her advantage to try to cheat or whatever, but it didn't. It didn't. With the newcomer of JC's Storm, we got to see the first ever AAW Women's Champion crown, and she picked up that victory by making Izzy McCoy tap out. She was so close to the ropes, but she couldn't get there enough. So she was very impressive. She proved that she can hang not just one-on-one, but actually in a three-way as a debut for a championship. Like, and that's
pretty good.
Yeah, hands down. Another match that was eye-catching was Cousin Nikki, a member of South Philly's finest. He took on ECW icon and legend Little Guido. Nikki.
Wow.
He was coming out with his best, hands down. But Little Guido, being the Sicilian shooter himself, he was picking this kid apart. He's like, just because you're younger doesn't mean you know all the tricks of the trade. So he was teaching this kid some respect. He was teaching him some lessons and whatnot. But unfortunately, Cousin Nikki picked up the W over an ECW icon such as Little Guido. Now, this has made Nikki a made man in South Philly's finest. Him with Luca Brasi
nice.
and Jimmy Conway. He's a made man now. And as we were commentating, we said, hey, Nikki better get his ass out of the ring, because if it was up to Guido, he's going to get a hold of the rest of the FBI, the full-blooded Italians, and put a hit on his ass. He's going to take him out real quick.
I was going to say, you better watch out for the FBI then.
Well, that's right. He had a dipset out there real quick. And who knows, his body might be end up missing for all we know. Another title match I was on the line. I didn't quite get the name of this team because it's pronounced different. Weird. But I know the last part of it was squad, so I ended up just calling them the squad because it was new faces I never saw before, and they were taking on South Philly's finest, Luca Brasi, and the Gent, Jimmy Conway, as they were going for the AAW Tag Team Championship. This match was back and forth. The majority of the time, they kept Brasi in the ring. They were beating him down, keeping him cut off from one side of the ring and this and that. Eventually, during the match, towards the end, we did, however, see they picked Brasi up, end up knocking out the ref. The ref was down and out. Yeah, he was out in the corner.
Classic.
Brasi laid him out. The fans are counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Yo,
3.
Yeah. We had like a 5, 6, whatever count. He tried waking up the ref. The other guys, they countered on Brasi. They made the pin too. Then ref still out, coach, still trying to come through. All hell's breaking loose. You got all 4 members in there. Eventually, Brasi gets a hold of one of them. Conway comes in with the baby powder and pours it on his hand. And what does he get? He gets bitch slapped. It was a nice, it was a palm strike, more or less, with the baby powder. A nice palm strike. But yeah, I say bitch slapped. So the ref finally gets woken up, makes the 3 count, and your new Atlantic All-Star Wrestling Tag Team Champions. Yes, South Philly's finest. These guys, I think this is their 20th championship. Right now they have a goal, try to make it to like, as of right now, it's 50. They're trying to make a goal of collecting 50 titles right now. And then once they hit that mark, that marker is going to go up a little more and they're going to keep going. But right now, I think they're at number 20.
Do they have these matches on YouTube, by the way?
Not yet. What it is? It was being recorded last night. We were on commentary,
right?
And it's being post edited. It's in post edit, and then the company's going to get the footage, and they'll either put it out on DVD or put it on YouTube, whichever the case may be, or Facebook. I don't know. So we are unaware, but at least one good thing, you definitely get to hear me and Dennis talking on it though, so you get to have some kind of fun. That'd be one enjoyment for the fans. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing hearing us. There was let me see. There was 2 more matches earlier in the evening. I guess I should mention them too as well. Mr. Business in the front, party in the back. Gotta love his mullet. Matt Quay beat Blade Harem and Sam Thompson. Sam Thompson, as I mentioned earlier, he was with Princess Valerie. Well, she was out there with him during his match. And Blade Harem is a Middle Eastern gentleman talking mad trash on the fans. And he came out with the sheiky boots with the curled toes.
Okay.
I thought he was gonna lay that in on somebody really good and have it like stick out their ribs or something like that. But Quay coming off with a big elbow off the. I don't think it was the top. It was the second row because it was a low ceiling. So he went up to the second. He came up with a big elbow, scored the pin. 1, 2, 3 in that 3-way match. And like I said, he's business in the front, party in the back, and that's what he did. He came in, he did business. Afterwards, he's partying with the fans because they love this kid. Oh yeah, nice. And the opening match of the evening was I don't know if he was a cousin or a family member of all the luchadors out of Mexico. Here is La Parco USA. I believe he's probably related to La Parca and all of them. I'm not sure. Could be. I don't know. As he took on a nice clean cut. I'm not going to say well-mannered because this guy was actually really cocky when he came to the ring. Jamie Tyler. This match went back and forth. It was pretty much even, but La Parco, he did pick up the victory, and he walked away with his hand raised. For the world title, we seen Jimmy Jack Cash, JJC, self-proclaimed best independent wrestler, self-proclaimed, taking on the church's money, Black G's. I was a little biased in this one because G's wrestling for the NWA currently for National Wrestling Alliance.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's big.
G's formerly wrestled in WWE a couple times, like I think once or twice. He's on TNA.
So he's got some experience.
He was on TNA. I believe he was in like one or two pay-per-views for them. He traveled to Japan. So going into this match, G's was my odds-on favorite of walking out victorious. Now, in the beginning, in the opening, G's was basically almost like manhandling this guy, even though this guy, Cash, he's a lot bigger, he's well put together, a lot stronger, and G's was like, he was sticking and moving, jabbing, boxing background. He could lay those fists right in, put a nice one on your chin, and probably lay you out.
All right.
But eventually, Cash with the size advantage, caught G's, ended up starting using the power moves and stuff on him, like just beating him down. And then like he ended up putting G's in his finishing maneuver. I believe G's, I forget if G's tapped out or he passed out. I can't remember. The night for me was a big blur because everything happened so fast, and the action was hot and heavy. But he was in JJC's finishing maneuver. He had one arm up over around the neck, the other one up under the arm, and he was locking those hands, just squeezing the life out of him. So I honestly believe G's tapped. I believe he tapped.
Like a sleeper hold kind of.
Yeah, almost like a modified sleeper. So so I believe G's did actually tap out. Unfortunately, JJC having the world title now offered open challenge. He said he's here to take on anybody, this and that. And music hits and out walks Sinister X. Sinister X comes out there, and JJC and X, they're exchanging words back and forth. They're talking about the history they had throughout the years and this and that. And X, hands down, he just accepted his challenge. He's like, you know what? We can do this. This ain't over, And Cash said, hey, I thought this was over behind us a long time ago. But hey, he opened his mouth. He made a challenge to anybody. And
that's right. You make a challenge. That's right. You better expect the unexpected.
And the final match of the evening, Impact Wrestling star Ace Austin taking on the Kryptonian himself, Darian Hardway. This match was so tough to call. It was going back and forth. Hardway, like I said, it was going back and forth. Hardway with some key moments in the match where he literally had Ace beat. He literally had him be with everything, all the damaging being done to his ribs and stuff, getting thrown in the corner really hard. I thought Hardway was gonna walk out, but Ace somehow, some way, he hit that modified neck breaker of his, pinned Hardway. This is a match that would be hands down main event status on anybody's show who's running. I give, like, I'm not Dave Meltzer where he gets 5 stars, but I'm gonna have to give him. I have to give this match about a 4-star. It was a 4-star match, and just so happened. Speaking of Darian Hardway, I was speaking to the Batista and G's, and I spoke to Hardway. Fortunately, Deshaun Pratt wasn't there. I did not get to speak to him, but I managed to get Hardway booked for us for February 3rd for Thursday Night Slam.
Hey, all right.
So with that being said, we already had Tony Batista.
Yep.
We already just had Deshaun Pratt. Come January 6th, we'll have the Church's Money Black G's. And February 3rd, we'll have Darian Hardway. That is all 4 members of the Dynasty, who is from Super Crazy Pro Wrestling over there in South Jersey at the Skid Row Academy. That's the show I'm telling you to go to January 13th, which is nearby you. You can go and actually see all 4 of them in action together. They are the Dynasty. So, you know what?
Check it out, people.
This was a hell of a show for first time Breakfast and Body Slams being on our Sunday at 11 a.m. We both got to get ready to watch the Birds today. I'm not sure what time is it. Is it 1 o'clock or 4?
It's a 4 o'clock game. Actually,
okay,
yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank our junior analyst who didn't have much to say because he didn't know what the hell he was talking about. But he got his face. But he got his face on the podcast. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. You got any final words for the people out there?
Goodbye. Have a nice day.
I
don't know.
I think that might be the most talking I heard this kid say. But eventually, like I said, we'll get him at the shows. He'll start learning who the people are. Maybe whatever, kid. He'll start learning, dropping soda can here and there. Don't spill it. But Mikey, do you have any final words for people out there tuning in?
Yes, as always, you can tune in to us every other Thursday on Thursday Night Slam. We have great interviews. We are the Prime Show. Let's not forget that, everyone. And you can catch us every Sunday at 11 a.m. on Breakfast and Body Slams. And you can also follow us on Twitter, as you see our Twitter handles. So if you want to know, talk to us and find out our reactions to indie shows or even the main top shows like Monday Night Raw, NXT, SmackDown, AEW shows, Dynamite and Rampage, and the upcoming Full Gear, we will be putting that out as well. So, thank you everyone for tuning in.
Well, there it is right there. I had to switch settings. If people ever want to check us out, like he said, it's Sundays for Breakfast and Body Slams at 11 a.m. But if you're not sure, you can go to right there at the top, BodySlamsPodcast.com. Even though we've been telling you BodySlams.pro, which is our other website, which we linked them both together. But if you go directly to BodySlamsPodcast.com, and there you go, Mike, you can share that out to people. It's easier for them to remember. BodySlamsPodcast.com. That it'll take you right directly to the site. You'll see our Twitter on there. Our Twitch feed is on that page as well. But on there, we have all the links to, like he said, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. You can watch past shows on our playlist. of Breakfast and Body Slams, Thursday Night Slam, as well as the pop-up plate bombs, which when the new season starts, we're going to put them in the archive section. Will be based off to the side of the screen, and we'll put the new seasons up. So you'll still be able to go back and click on the view the previous season. So we'll be starting season 2 in the beginning of 2022. And if you're on the go, and if you're in your car, or you're at the gym, or you're at work, or whatever, you just want to listen to us broadcasting, you can go to the listen section where you can find us on many audio platforms that you can listen to, such as Spotify, Apple iTunes, what's the other one called? Boy, this is so much. Like I said, Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts. It's a whole list of them. Trust me. Stitcher. But yeah, as soon as I have the list up, I will have it up for everyone. I'll put it up for everyone to see. But yeah, don't forget to check out our family members at the Devil Rose Sports, all the shows there, as well as our affiliates for Breakfast and Body Slams. Today, this is Jadiel, aka Jay, aka Bubba J, who likes to what? With Bubba J, what are you doing?
Drinking beer and watching NASCAR.
Hey, you're too young to be drinking beer, but you can watch all the NASCAR you want.
Drinking root beer.
Yeah, root beer. There you go. Drinking root beer and watching NASCAR. There you go. Hot Wheels, watching Hot Wheels, whatever. And our man on the other side of the world, which is still PA, whatever. The better Bernard, the Saint Bernard, Mikey.
Peace out, everybody.
I'm Chio Frost. And don't forget, like I said, check us out at BodySlamsPodcast.com. And we're out. Thank you, everyone. Peace.